Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Women's Tour Episode 22. We're at the World Championships road race, taking over with the American team. A lot of the stronger riders are not present for this one, and a lot of the riders that are present for this one are winding down their season, low fitness levels. So a lot of negative race day conditions. In fact, only a single positive, just a +1 on the entire team, and really only one decent climber out of the whole American team. So our expectations are more about observing this one than actually trying to compete. Cloud here is a 75 mountain. Everybody else is about 70 or below. I think there's a single 72. Actually already had a rider go out the back. We're down to 95 in the peloton. It was only a very small breakaway. Initially 2 riders and then a couple others bridging the gap and joining them, but then that whole group has already been brought back. We can see the pace has lifted now that the breakaway was caught, so we're getting a small amount of recovery right now. But there's plenty of fatigue in our mid-60s climbers, which realistically, compared to some of the riders that are here, a couple of my riders would actually be about as good as what we have comparatively on the team. So if I had properly picked a team for this year, might have been able to do more. And I think maybe next year I'll try to go in and properly pick a team instead of auto-select, because this team is quite subpar. All right, well, we're at the World Championships, and pessoptimist, by the way, has been fantastic and been very supportive of this series and has sent me a lot of updated stages. That's been his main focus for this year, is working on the stages. He's the original mod creator. Somebody else is handling those duties this year, while pessoptimist is working on stage creation, and we've gotten to experience a handful of those already within this series, but it is I just got a whole bunch of World Championship stages from them in recent days, anticipating that this World Championships was coming up. So Franz is going to go back, grab some water here for us. There's still 140 kilometers to go. This is a very lengthy race, even though it's a simple revolving circuit. And looking at the climb itself, get that in there. There we go. 1.3 kilometers in length, right about 10% average. It's very short, but it does max out at 17.3%. So it is a very difficult climb through that section, and you've definitely got to be a climber or you're going to lose time fast. Now it's short, right? So as long as you're starting near the front, you can drift back. You can afford to drift back a little bit because of how short the climb is. But at some point later on, especially when the pace really starts to pick up, if you don't have that speed on the climb, a gap's going to open somewhere. There's going to be a couple fatigued riders, and then poof, you're gone. You're out the back, and you're in a chase group, and you're never going to see the peloton again, like Ganzar, who drifted back a little bit on one of the climbs, still had energy, drifted back, there was a split, 8-10 riders were out the back, never to be seen again. Now, pace did lift for a little bit, but now that there's a new breakaway, I'm sure that they're going to up the pace, up that tempo again, and start the chase of those 3 breakaway riders. And so here we are all over again. What recovery has happened is now going to go right back into a real struggle, and we had to up the tempo because of how hard and fast this climb is being taken. Fortunately, again, it's short, so it's not burning a ton of energy each time, but you can see like Franz just went right through her red bar very, very quickly in that 1 kilometer or so of climbing. We're down to 6 more times on that climb, and I definitely anticipate that over the next 1 or 2 times we're going to really start to see that acceleration and this peloton thin out. And it's already down to 107, but it's going to go down a lot more in the climbs come. Now, Franz is the worst in race day condition and definitely feeling the fatigue the most. So let's go ahead and use her gel now. Hopefully she can make it through this time so that she's at least there for the next one, for the base of it, offering some protection. Gel kicked in, perfect time. You can see here's that big acceleration. It has happened. Decrescenzo is also quite tired. We're going to need to use her gel along with Tetrick next time. But Franz, with help of that gel, did make it through. So one more time for her. I have a feeling she'll be dropped before we're over the top this next time. Peloton is shrinking, 88 riders. Ooh, pace lifted, pace lifted. Recovery has happened, okay. Just 4 riders away and they're not far, so Peloton actually coming back together a little bit. Recovery is happening a bit. We're at 80k to go. We need water again, but we're also not close enough to the end, so that's a little worrying that we might need to get water twice. That's tricky in this scenario.
Attack! It's a good moment to show the team colors.
Okay, probably should have used Decrescenzo's gel, but I was hoping they'll make it over the top. Fading. Almost made it. Will technically make it. Definitely use that gel now. Tetrick, likewise. And over the top this time, and hopefully we're not too late on this, over the top this time we are going to send somebody back to get that water. If Tetrick has energy, it'll be Tetrick. Peloton at 39. This could be really good. Oh, dang. Make that 91. That could have been a really, really good scenario for that. Nope, Tetrick is not going to make it. Certainly not enough to have any ability to get water and bring it back to the front. Let's go ahead and set these guys to auto. Alright, so Tetrick done. Let's look, Faulkner, you'll get the water. Tetrick's still there to protect Badger, and so Garnier, and yes, not Garnier, but Garnier in the US. I actually served with a Garnier in the Army. From New York City that was. Drifting backward, just 75 left, and I have a feeling by the end of this climb it's going to be down to probably 55 or so. There goes Tetrick. Tetrick, we already got the water. You already got the water. 43k to go, and Tetrick wasting energy. Tetrick somehow going forward on the climb. Now out of energy. Okay, Franz. Set to auto. Out the back. 58. What did I say? 55. Oh, 66. A small group was able to latch back on just barely over the top. Alright, so we're down to 4. Cloud obviously is our top one. I think Badger is the other. Yes. So Faulkner to protect Badger. 4 remain. 66 in the Peloton. 2 climbs to go. That also means there's going to be more tempo.
The tempo has slowed down. Something might be cooking.
As they're slowing down at the moment, and a few riders getting on the back, including Tetrick. Very much won't last. I have a feeling we'll be down to about 30 or 40 after this climb, which is why we needed to up the tempo, because there will be a hard acceleration that splits this field in roughly half. That's my prediction anyway. Here we go. Now, Garnier, Faulkner, this is going to hurt, but it's short enough that they should be okay.
He's going to take them on by himself.
And at the moment, there's my prediction, right on the money. And actually, it just shrunk even further, 28. 28 now, 26 now. For a moment there, it was right at what I expected, and it ended up even smaller. Single rider off the front, and just 1 climb to go, so we're going to, before that climb, sprint train this thing. There we go, now at 30, chasing 1. Now 2 as somebody's trying to attack off the front. Alright, Garnier, Gel, Faulkner, Gel. A little bit further. Oh, hello, now there's 5 riders escaping and total of 10 off the front. And suddenly we're down to 18 in this group. So even though it's a little early, we're going to need to make a move. This is obviously down to energy remaining. And Faulkner starts that pursuit. It sets us up here for the finish. The groups are very, very close together, so this shouldn't be too hard to bridge most of these gaps. I do not think we're in position to catch the very, very front runners who are the favorites, but as we're not top climbers, we're gonna have a couple issues trying to pursue the last contenders. But there's Lamborghini, Laxiri. Garnier has somehow escaped Badger and McLeod. Come on, Badger. Come on, forward. There are 3 riders up the road, and then we're in the next set. There's Ganser, who we're lapping, the one who was dropped very early. Garnier.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Try to recover, please. Get onto the back. There you go. Okay. 4.7k to go. There's still 3 out front, and it's 57 seconds. McLeod could probably attack and escape this group. Or not. No, it's just Badger and Garnier who are quite tired, so why don't we just sit on and ride for 4th place. Laxiri, Gutierrez, Lamborghini. There's Voss, Van Vleuten, and is that Paladin that's with them? 1.5k. Okay, Badger was dropped. Garnier, can you give me a tiny lead out? Okay, you do. Now 900 meters. Now McLeod can go. Riding for 5th place, it looks like. 6th. 6th. Van Vleuten is your winner. Paladin 2nd. Voss, Lamborghini, Gutierrez, and then McLeod grabs 6th place ahead of Laxiri, one of my favorites that I've been trying to sign. Garnier, 8th. Badger grabbed 10th, so we get 3 riders inside the top 10, which is a very good result considering how weak we were as a unit in those race day conditions, and lacking, our top riders. Alright, so we've reached the end of the season, and here's our final tallies on how we did. First, the index, Canyon Shram, Bolstomans at the top, and we have certainly moved up from 85th, where we were, and then this second season we moved up 3 or 4 spots. We had no reputation to, like a 1-star index after the first season, and we've jumped a lot. We've jumped a lot to literally just missing Continental Pro, which I'm totally happy with missing Continental Pro. We're not there yet. We're not dominating Continental competition. This year, though, we should. 2.5-star evaluation for next season. So we've gone from no stars to 1 star to 2.5. So we didn't even just gain a star. We gained 1.5 stars this year. And almost made Continental Pro. It looks like next season should be no problem making Continental Pro now that we're up to this point. This should also really help us on our recruiting front for next season. Yes, we're still Continental, but at 2.5 stars coming into it, a lot more riders are going to be willing to sign at a higher level. It's going to require a few points to go after those recruitments, and so we'll actually be able to use up some of that money that we have. Now, going into the individual, it's Annemiek van Vleuten, who took 3,974 points to win World Tour rankings. Nieuwe Dame is just behind her, and Ludwig. Just look at that. All 3 of them within 42 points. That's pretty crazy. Continental looked like this. There's McLeod, who we were just with. Continental Racer, taking 6th place there. In the Super Prestige, Van Vleuten takes that one as well. Our highest place finisher outside of the top 150. Now, the team. This is the one that matters for me. Mitchelton Scott on top. Great results for them to have that many points. We were 31st in the Continental rankings as a team, so still well down the order. Super Prestige-wise, there it is, 50th. We cracked the top 50. And look at that tight contest with same on points and just 1 point to get inside that top 50. Pretty impressive on that part. Very, very tight affair in this stretch. And look at that show air. That's Chloe Daggert's team, which shouldn't be World Tour in rankings. They should be Continental Pro, but apparently Chloe Daggert clawed them up to World Tour from last season to this season. And I can understand why they wouldn't score a whole lot of points, as she is mostly a time trial specialist, but tremendous ratings and pulled that team up. Of course, in real life, she'll no longer be on that team. Is it Canyon Shram that she moved to? Oh gosh, I don't remember off the top of my head which team it is she has moved to. Anyway, top 50, not bad. From like nothing a season ago to where we're at now. We had 80 points. We had 790 this season. So big step in the right direction. But of course, cracking the top 50 is not yet where we want to be. It's not yet meeting our ambition in any way, shape, or form. So we've got another season to come, and a bit of a short episode today, but that's the season. The season's wrapped up. So when we start our next one, we will be into January, and we'll have a new look. We've got a new jersey for the upcoming season. We've got some new riders joining the team. I'm excited for what is to come. Of course, we're not going to immediately make a huge step up, but we dropped off our bottom end of this roster, and we brought in more top-end riders, so we'll be even more consistent than we were. And then, of course, we're going to continue to see some development. Vanderpeet and Donadan both developed nicely this season, and that should continue. And the riders coming in are all very high potential riders. So again, that should lead towards a lot of growth within the team naturally. But with that higher profile, that higher reputation, I'm really looking forward to our signing period next season and see if that's going to be reflected in our ability to go after riders. Because remember, there was riders that were more than the maximum points that we even get because they literally had no interest in joining us to that extreme level. So if that starts coming down a bit, we can start going after better and better riders, because the money's not an issue. It's the interest. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time as we start a new season. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.